Welcome to World Insight. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon for more breaking updates. In the heart of Europe, where the Danube winds through grand boulevards and centuries-old architecture, Hungary stands at a crossroads of history and ambition. Today, Hungary is making a dramatic shift that is capturing the attention of the world. Once firmly anchored in the Western world, Hungary is now turning eastward, seeking new alliances and opportunities beyond Brussels and Washington. This move is not just political, it's cultural, economic, and strategic. This pivot is shaking up European unity and raising urgent questions about Hungary's future in the EU and what it means for the continent as a whole. The government argues that the world is changing at a rapid pace, and Hungary must adapt to survive and thrive in this new era. The most striking move is Hungary's pursuit of closer ties with the BRICS nations, led by China and Russia, signaling a bold departure from its traditional Western partners. This is a clear break from the Western-focused foreign policy Hungary followed since the fall of the Iron Curtain, when hopes for integration with Europe were at their highest. For many Europeans, this is an alarming development, challenging the very idea of a united European front and raising fears of division within the EU. Hungary's leaders believe that in a multipolar world, relying on a single set of allies is risky. They argue that flexibility and pragmatism are essential for national survival. By diversifying partnerships and opening new economic channels, Hungary hopes to boost its economy, attract investment, and increase its strategic importance on the world stage. This bold and controversial strategy puts Hungary at the center of a new great power competition, where every move could reshape its destiny and the future of Europe itself. To understand Hungary's new direction, we need to look at BRICS. This coalition of nations has been steadily gaining momentum on the global stage. BRICS, originally Brazil, Russia, India, China, and later South Africa, has grown into a powerful bloc. These countries, each a significant player in their own right, have come together to form a formidable alliance. In 2024 it expanded to include Saudi Arabia, UAE, Iran, Egypt, and Ethiopia, dramatically increasing its global influence. This expansion marks a significant shift in the global power balance. The expanded BRICS now accounts for over a third of the world's economic output and controls vast energy resources. This economic clout gives the bloc substantial leverage in international affairs. BRICS members share a desire for a global order less dominated by the West. They seek to create a more balanced and equitable international system. They're building parallel institutions and pushing for a multipolar world. This includes establishing new financial systems and international banks to reduce dependency on Western-dominated institutions. For Hungary, joining BRICS means access to fast-growing markets and a seat at the table with influential non-Western leaders. It's an opportunity to diversify its economic partnerships and reduce reliance on the European Union. It's a chance to pursue strategic autonomy, free from EU political conditions. Hungary sees this as a path to greater independence and influence on the world stage. As BRICS grows, its pull on countries seeking alternatives to the West is only getting stronger. This new club of nations is reshaping the global landscape, offering a different vision for the future. Hungary's eastward pivot is driven by a mix of economic ambition and strategic calculation. As the world's economic center of gravity shifts, Hungary is determined not to be left behind. The government sees new opportunities emerging in the east and is eager to tap into them to secure the country's future prosperity. There's a growing belief among Hungarian leaders that Western dominance, both economically and politically, is gradually fading. The European Union, once seen as the engine of growth and stability, now appears less certain and more divided, especially in the wake of recent crises. Prime Minister Viktor Orbán's government is looking eastward, convinced that Asia represents the future of global power, innovation, and economic growth. By forging closer ties with Asian giants like China and India, Hungary hopes to ride the wave of the 21st century's economic transformation. Hungary is actively seeking new markets and foreign investment, especially from the BRICS nations, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. These partnerships are seen as vital for fueling Hungarian industries, creating jobs and modernizing infrastructure, all while reducing dependence on traditional Western partners. By positioning itself as a gateway for Eastern capital and trade, Hungary aims to become a crucial logistical and economic hub between Europe and Asia. The country is investing in railways, ports, and technology to facilitate this new role, hoping to attract even more international business. Politically, Hungary's ongoing disputes with the EU over issues like sovereignty, migration, and national values have pushed it to seek leverage elsewhere. By building strong ties with China and Russia, Orbán's government is signaling that Hungary has alternatives and won't be isolated. This strategy sends a clear message to Brussels. Hungary is not afraid to look beyond the West, and it cannot be easily pressured or coerced into following the EU mainstream. The government is carefully crafting a narrative of independence and self-determination, Hungary as a proud, sovereign nation, charting its own path rather than acting as a junior partner to larger powers. This message resonates with many Hungarians, especially those skeptical of liberal internationalism and eager for a more assertive, nationally focused posture. It taps into a deep sense of national pride and a desire for greater control over Hungary's destiny. By actively courting the BRICS nations, Hungary is making it clear to the world that it intends to chart its own independent course in global politics, one that balances East and West and puts Hungarian interests first. The clearest sign of Hungary's eastward turn is its deepening economic ties with China. Chinese investment is pouring in, especially in high-tech manufacturing and electric vehicles. BYD, China's EV giant, is building its first European factory in Hungary, creating thousands of jobs. Battery maker Katell is also investing heavily, making Hungary a hub for the EV industry in Europe. The government welcomes these investments, offering subsidies and a stable environment. While other EU countries are wary of Chinese influence, Hungary positions itself as China's most reliable partner in the EU. Critics warn of over-reliance on China and potential risks to political autonomy. Still, the government insists these deals are vital for modernization and economic security. Despite its pivot east, Hungary remains deeply tied to the West. It's a full EU and NATO member with most trade and investment coming from Europe. EU funds have modernized Hungary's economy and infrastructure, ties that can't be easily replaced. Hungary must balance its eastern ambitions with the economic realities of EU membership. This was clear in 2025, when Hungary joined the EU's Safe Defense Initiative after initially refusing, lured by favorable loan terms. The move showed Hungary's pragmatism. It won't jeopardize EU benefits, even as it seeks new alliances. Hungary isn't leaving the EU for BRICS, it wants the best of both worlds. To the west, it's a sometimes difficult ally. To the east, a gateway into Europe. This dual-track approach defines Hungary's unique, controversial role in Europe. Hungary's foreign policy is a high-stakes balancing act. It juggles commitments to the EU and NATO with growing ties to China and BRICS. The goal: strategic autonomy, freedom to choose partners and policies based on national interest. This creates friction with Western allies who worry about Chinese and Russian influence. Hungary frames its strategy as pragmatic statecraft in an uncertain world. By building Eastern ties, it gains leverage in negotiations with Brussels. Sometimes it sides with China, other times it supports EU initiatives, keeping everyone guessing. But this approach is risky. A misstep could leave Hungary isolated from both sides. The outcome of this balancing act will shape Hungary's future. Hungary stands at a crossroads, its choices echoing across Europe. By embracing both the EU and BRICS, Hungary is testing what it means to be a European nation today. If successful, it could become a bridge between East and West, reaping economic rewards. Chinese investment promises jobs and growth, but also brings social and environmental challenges. Ongoing disputes with the EU could threaten funding and rights. Hungary's experiment raises big questions for Europe. Can the EU tolerate a member aligning with rivals? Will others follow? Hungary's story reflects the global power shifts reshaping our world. Whether it leads to prosperity or isolation, the world is watching Hungary's next move.